Most people think drag racing is only for big budgets, built cars and professional drivers. I'm here to tell you that is completely wrong. In this video, we'll cover where to start, what you need and how to go from spectating to competing in a real drag racing championship, all in your own car. So you're done spectating and want to get on track. The next logical step for many aspiring racers is a Run What Ya Brung. Run What Ya Brung allows you the opportunity to take whatever you have, car or bike, within reason for a full run down the track, all for a small fee. Run What Ya Brung was my gateway into drag racing. I took my old Golf GTI to Santapod for unlimited runs and hot lap that quarter mile to my heart's content, all for less than 100 quid. Your vehicle of choice doesn't even require tax or an MOT, so trailered vehicles are allowed. However, a roadworthy car that is suitably maintained with no leaks is quite a good benchmark to have, and I'll safely assume many of you, like me, will be taking their daily driver. While Santapod understandably gets a lot of attention, there are other fantastic venues in the UK where you can take your car for a Run What Ya Brung or even competitive drag racing. We have Manston Raceway in the southeast of England in Kent, Elvington and Melbourne in York, and even further north in Scotland we have Crail Raceway. These tracks are all airfields, unlike Santapod, which means that it's unprepped drag racing surfaces, which is more like the road, so less grippy, which offers a unique challenge in itself, often referred to as no prep. These tracks may not be the only locations that offer drag racing events, so keep an eye on an airfield near you. As a note, Santapod now requires a helmet for all Run What Ya Brung events, irrespective of car performance, unlike the other tracks, which are an event by event basis and depends on the speed and quarter mile time of your car, so be prepared. So while Santapod may be the only prepped professional drag racing location in the UK, it is not the only place that offers the opportunity to go drag racing and have a great time, and it's really important to support your local track. Okay, you've done a Run What Ya Brung and you're hungry for more. Maybe you want to immerse yourself further in the world of drag racing and see how your car fares and how your skills stack up against other drivers in a competitive environment. What are your options? While the other tracks do offer competitive events, this next section will cover my first-hand experience entering the world of drag racing at Santapod. So drag racing has many different classes, all the way up to top fuel. Right now, we're going to focus on the entry-level classes that should be most accessible to you in your daily driver. When I say entry-level, don't think this is a sign of easy competition. These classes are heavily dictated by the cars themselves, but don't underestimate the person behind the wheel. These classes offer fierce competition, super close racing and some very, very skilled drivers. And to boot, it's one of the most diverse fields in drag racing. The Hutchinson Dibley Sportsman ET Championship is the place to start for most cars and most drivers. However, a strong alternative is the VW Drivers Championship, which hosts the VW Sportsman and VW Pro Championships. If you have a VAG machine and want to race against a class of similar cars, this could be the championship for you. However, my experience is with the Sportsman ET class, which allows you to race any car from any manufacturer all the way down to 12 seconds. Much of what I say will be applicable to VW Sportsman and other classes. VW Sportsman does get to compete in the world famous Bug Jam. These Sportsman classes are bracket racing, which means consistency is king. For the Hutchinson Dibley Sportsman ET, the class runs down to a fastest quarter mile time of 12 seconds. Go faster than that and you'll be pulled in for a chat, need to dial it back or consider another class. And make no mistake, 12 seconds is no small feat. However, that is not a target. You do not need to run 12 seconds or anywhere near to win in this class. Similar to a Run What Ya Brung, no special modifications are required, although your car will be scrutineered to make sure that it's safe, everything is attached and you're not leaking. If you do have something super wacky, wild and old, then there may be some special considerations, but that all can be found in the rulebook, which I'll link in the description below. In my eyes, the principle of this class is to be able to race a car that you could, and many of us do, drive to and from the track. From a 21-second VW diesel Caddy van to a Mark 1 Mazda MX-5 and a V5 Volkswagen Golf to a modified Chevy Camaro, a bonkers Subaru Forester and a cheeky Nissan Skyline trying to break out the class, everyone has an equal chance to win. The diversity of performance in this class makes them world-class racing to either compete in or spectate, and if this doesn't convince you, come along and watch for yourself. Stepping up from Run What Ya Brung and into real competition gives you the opportunity to don racewear to keep you safe and looking the part. So what do you need to race in Sportsman ET at Santapod? Race helmet, race gloves, race boots, and a race suit. Optionally, I'd recommend a balaclava and some undergarments for comfort and hygiene, because nobody likes a smelly helmet. You don't need anything fancy, so don't feel pressured to splash out on what can only be described mostly as vanity and some marginal gains in comfort and features. One consideration is considering a helmet with hands posts, as I think they're called, in case you want to race in a faster class and will need a hands device, although this isn't required for racing in Sportsman ET. Again, check the rulebook link below to check that your racewear complies with the standards required to go racing. All of this racewear could be had for under £1,000, and that's before you even consider the second-hand market. Yes, this is probably the biggest sting when it comes to going racing, but it is an upfront cost that could give you years and maybe a decade or more of racing. Starting from scratch myself, I got most of my race equipment from GP Racewear, which isn't too far from Santapod and just outside Silverstone GP. This allowed me to try the equipment and the racewear on in person, especially as I didn't know what my sizes were, and the team were friendly enough to let me try on a few different sizes and wander around the store and sit down for about half an hour in my helmet and full racewear to make sure it all fit properly. I also had a great experience from Demon Tweaks, their online store, which had loads of stuff, and I imagine there are plenty of other vendors out there that could cater just to your needs. If you're finding this useful, please hit subscribe. I'm documenting my journey into drag racing from the ground up, and there's so much more to come. Right, let's get back into it, because the next step is getting you a race license, and the process is simpler than you may think. You've got your race gear. Next, you need two simple things: a Santapod Racers Club membership and a Motorsport UK licence. Both are relatively easy to obtain, and here is what you need to know. The SPRC membership is an annual subscription that lets you sign up and compete in drag racing events. This can be had for £35 a year or £20 for juniors. Yes, your kids can go racing, or somebody else's. What do you get? Lanyards. We love lanyards. This one, an SPRC one, has the handy rulebook on it on a USB stick. A race license, which also has your race number, mine is number 43, and an SPRC sticker for your car, toolbox, or wherever else you want to put it. And a nice fold out calendar of either a beautiful dragster or, handily, a calendar for the entire year of racing. Now, obtaining a Motorsport UK licence is also relatively straightforward. Here are a few pointers that may help. First, you need to select a national licence, and it may not be obvious, but you need to select rally and speed. Speed. And critically, the minimum licence required to compete at drag racing in Santapod is the RS Interclub licence, not the RS Clubman licence. This all costs £85 for the year, and you get, yes, another lanyard, your race licence for the year, your upgrade card, which I'll come back to in a moment, and an MS UK sticker, because again, we all love stickers. Links to both of these can be found in the description below. So you've got your papers and you're ready to go for glory. The last step to complete is your observed runs. This requires 3 observed runs, usually solo, down the quarter mile at Santapod. Complete these safely and you will earn the signatures to sign off your upgrade card and obtain your race license. With prior notice to the Santapod team, these observed runs can be completed at a Run What Ya Brung, a test event, or, as I did, Dial-In Day. I would highly recommend Dial-In Day. This event runs once a year around March time. However, if that time has passed or you want to get straight into the action mid-season, then don't fret. Your fellow racers and competitors in the Sportsman ET Championship and other championships are all in the pits, welcoming newcomers and ready to show people the ropes. As a case in point, our Lorna didn't get to complete Dial-In Day, but the first person to approach Lorna in the pits and give her a welcome and some tips was none other than the 4-time champion Gary Lake. We all come from different walks of life with different stories, different cars and different budgets. Everyone is working hard to be here, whether they're racing, crewing, spectating, volunteering or keeping things running behind the scenes. We're all susceptible to making mistakes, as I very well know, but be ready to put your hands up, listen and learn from it. Please take care of the place and the people in it. We all play our part in keeping drag racing alive. And that goes for any local track you may attend. From security at the gate, to start line staff, to marshals, to vendors, to emergency crews and volunteers. These people all work incredibly hard to make sure that we can go racing. Santapod is an international community and a family sport. Super knowledgeable and friendly, as long as you show your respects and park your ego at the gate. We're all here to push limits, go faster and raise each other up, even in a grudge match. Be proud to be joining one of the greatest communities, because together we all go faster. Okay, you've made it and you're ready to sign up for your first race weekend. What to expect? Most of us stay on site during a race weekend, tucking our car in at night and keeping it within arm's length. You'll see a whole range of camping setups, from tents like us, to tent boxes, to camper vans, to motorhomes. You can hire a camper van that can be pitched for you when you're there at Santapod, as many people opt to do, but we like to live in a tent. There are electrical hookups, toilets, shower facilities, so there's no need to rough it unless that's your thing. Days typically run from 9 to 8 in the evening, and while you're between runs, there's plenty of other classes to watch and spectate. Do bear in mind that drag racing is a weather dependent sport. Sometimes we have to buckle down when the sky magic decides to do its thing. We don't say the R word. There may also be track incidents to resolve, and the track team always works super hard to make sure everyone's safe and to get racing going as soon as possible. So come with a bit of patience. A weekend race entry typically ranges from £200 to £300, and that includes entry tickets for you and your crew. And there we go. I hope this video is giving you the information and the confidence that you too can go drag racing. And if you're still not sure, get yourself down to a race weekend. There's plenty of us in the pits that are happy and friendly enough to talk. And also, any questions, just drop a comment. And whether you're on 4 wheels or 2, drag racing has a place for you. Stay curious, stay respectful, and I will see you at the track. Click here for my first hand experience at Dial-In Day. Click here for my first Run What Ya Brung. And click here for a front row view of my last race weekend. Testing, testing. We've got the lighting, we've got all the jazzily bits, and we're going to talk about drag racing. Energy, energy.